Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Ming.
We're speed cubers.
That means we can solve problems really quickly.
And now we're turning our attention to some of the world's
biggest problems with solutions you never saw coming. We are the Solve Guys.
Okay, that was a bit creepy, but today's episode is all about artificial intelligence, or specifically solving the problem of AI taking our jobs, even taking our spot on this podcast. Because what if I told you that this is not even Ming's voice, but an AI trainer that learned his voice and generated this performance? Do you like me better this way, Tom? Maybe you'll finally take me more seriously now.
Wow. What an intro.
How good was that?
Oh man, that voice was like actually scarily realistic, right?
Could you could tell though, like from fairly early on.
Yeah, I know your usual annoying tinge is wasn't there. So it was actually quite enjoyable to do that for once.
Man, oh man, it's episode 8 and have we got a show for you today. We're going to solve the problem of AI, or specifically AI taking over our jobs.
And clearly that's a great demonstration of how it, like, maybe in the future I can replace Tin Man with AI.
Wow.
That was my honest reaction, by the way. I had not heard that intro that Ming had prepared for us.
That's so good.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Tell us a bit about AI. What problem are we trying to address today, Tom?
So, artificial intelligence. I mean, lately in the media, what do we think of? We think of robots that are, doing human jobs. We think of AI generators, ChatGPT, those sort of things that are becoming more mainstream and accessible to us. But really, AI covers so many things. We've got also like advanced search engines like Google. When YouTube tells you what to do, like those sort of algorithms and suggestions like that.
Yep.
Amazon telling you what product you might be interested in, that's all comes under artificial intelligence.
Amazon knows me really well, just saying. Probably better than I know myself.
Yeah. It tells you the best teddy bears you're going to love this month and that sort of stuff.
And it's always right. I don't know how.
Yeah. But the type of AI, like those things are helpful, right? Even if in some places it like might almost be invading privacy, but you can usually, choose those options. But the AI that people are worried about, right, is the AI that is threatening humans' jobs or tasks because of how smart and efficient it actually is compared to humans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we call a lot of that like generative AI. So AI that's sort of generating like information or creative AI.
Yeah, it's not just pulling from stuff but it's learning to make art, make comedy.
Yep.
Lots of different things on its own, which is, I mean, we struggle enough to make comedy on this podcast. We don't need someone else stealing our job.
Speak for yourself, mate. So when people hear AI today, they're thinking like, ChatGPT. I didn't even know what that stood for, by the way. Do you know what it stands for?
No, I don't know.
It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
Transformer.
I know.
Robots in disguise.
That's right. So we're thinking ChatGPT or like AI art, because that's the stuff that you're seeing on social media. Yeah. It's like, hey, look at this generated photo of like the Pope in like, that white puffer jacket or things like that. Yeah. Like that's what you're thinking of AI. But, like Tom said, it covers so many things. The thing though is that AI is coming for our jobs, or at least that's what the headlines are saying. So this article by Goldman Sachs said that they're predicting that AI might impact up to, you ready for this? 300 million jobs.
Wow.
Oh, well, okay. Maybe not different jobs, 300 million positions like around the world.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's like almost the entire population of America's workers, right?
Absolutely.
Just losing their job.
That's a lot of people. And apparently the jobs at highest risk of being replaced are things like software developers, web developers, computer programmers, coders, data science. Like, to me, there's a bit of irony here. Of like,
the people that made AI are going to be replaced by it. It's crazy.
Like, no, you were supposed to, fulfill the prophecy. You weren't meant to. Like, there are literally AI programmers saying that in 5 years, we're not going to need programmers anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you building this thing that's going to replace you?
Interesting.
It's crazy. But the thing is, it's because AI like ChatGPT, they're really good at crunching data, at crunching numbers or text. They're really good at analyzing like huge amounts of language and text, which means they can like write summaries really well in all sorts of style. So I found out, for example, like CNET, used AI to write like a whole bunch of really impressive articles that people like couldn't even guess were written by AI.
Wow.
But then after that, they had to like issue like a bunch of corrections because they were like mistakes.
And I think there's a lot of like websites now that are, because do they want to pay a journalist or do they want ChatGPT to just write, endless articles for them every, minute, right? Pumping out stuff. But, then there comes the issue is like misinformation because the AI doesn't have that sort of, like it can't understand sarcasm either, that sort of stuff or tell when things are misinformation sometimes.
When you're talking to AI, when you're like chatting to it, it's so easy to just assign to it like consciousness. You just instantly think, oh yeah, I'm talking to a person here. It's a program that's following rules. And for a lot of it, it doesn't even have a real concept of like understanding the words that it's even saying. It's not like it knows that a cat is a cat. It just knows that this is the way that you structure a sentence.
Yeah.
This seems to be like the grammatical way to like put words together and respond to this query. It doesn't really know what it's saying.
But then again, is that not what humans do as well, right? It's just we've spent our whole life building up this bank and everything we know is also drawn from this data around us, people around us, right?
I know what a cat is. All right. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
AI is not taking my job.
It's never touched a cat and felt its fur. You're right there, definitely.
That's right. But another thing is that depending on who you ask, you're going to get different answers to like what AI is going to replace. So another article I found said that the top jobs that AI is going to replace, it's not, all the data scientists and developers. It's jobs like customer service reps, receptionists, salespeople, teachers, taxi, truck drivers, military personnel. I know. I thought for a second I was reading like the jobs that they wouldn't replace, but I'm not sure if I want AI in charge of the military.
Yeah.
Just saying that. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought those jobs would be the ones taken either. Wow.
Exactly. And teacher? Come on.
Teacher.
So I'm not sure I've said this before on the podcast, but I used to be a teacher. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. And I didn't think teachers could become more boring.
Wow.
But I guess AI can fix that. Yeah.
Well, teachers are actually using AI already to like write lesson plans.
Yeah.
To come up with ideas of or generate like an exam. Based on all this stuff, write me an exam. And it's like instead of taking like 20 hours to write that test, bang, it's done in like 20 seconds.
But isn't like that's great? Those teachers can spend their time on like like helping out students that are behind and doing things that are more human and more.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's what a lot of teachers said. It's not about like a replacement here. It's about sort of like working alongside and enhancing. Yeah. Anyway, it seemed like a no-brainer to actually ask AI itself what it thought about this issue. And so I asked ChatGPT this question: do you think AI will eventually take over all human jobs? And this is what it said.
The impact of AI on the job market is a topic that sparks various opinions and debates. While it is true that AI has the capability to automate certain processes traditionally performed by humans, the notion of AI completely taking over all human jobs is complex and multifaceted.
That's exactly what they would say, right? They're like, we're not going to take over your jobs.
That's exactly what an AI who wants to take over my job would say.
But you notice they didn't say no.
Yeah.
ChatGPT wasn't like, hey guys, it's not going to happen. It was just like, it's complicated.
It's complex and multifaceted. Something you, a dumb human, wouldn't understand. So allow me. To robots.
AI has the potential to greatly enhance productivity, improve efficiency, and augment human capabilities across various industries. It can automate repetitive and mundane tasks, freeing up time for humans to focus on more creative and complex endeavors. However, there are certain tasks that require uniquely human skills such as creativity, critical thinking, and complex decision-making. Rather than viewing AI as a threat to human employment, it can be seen as a tool that, when used effectively, can augment human capabilities and lead to new avenues of innovation and economic growth.
That's just what something trying to take over the world would say. Are you trying to take over the world? No, of course not.
No, it's just I can do everything better than you. But like your little cute little creative things, you can do them.
Yeah.
Literally. Your little podcasts.
That's right. That's fine.
Your little paintings.
Yeah.
You keep doing you.
We'll look after the grown-up stuff.
My little kings and queens.
Oh, it's crazy.
Wow, crazy.
So we watched this YouTube video this week by Wired. It's pretty great. It's called AI Tries 20 Jobs. So they had this whole lineup of like people from different professions, like doctors, graphic designer, bartender, musician, journalist, chef. Was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they asked all of them the same question. Do you think AI will be able to take your job? And there were some interesting responses. Hey,
Yeah, I think my favorite was the journalist, right? Like, and like we were talking before with articles, because like the AI was able to try and write it in his style, like his particular style.
That's right.
He still said that it kind of came out like quite robotic and didn't have the personality he had. And it was a product review, so the AI hasn't actually like had that hands-on experience before. But it was still really interesting. Yeah. I loved that video. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also had some like circus performer or firefighter, and they came up and they were just like, no, AI's not taking my job.
But what if there's like a robot that has like a jetpack and can do tricks? Like eventually.
That's exactly right.
Eventually, circus performers look out.
They just didn't think hard enough, right? I mean, a lot of them concluded, I found very interesting, by saying the same thing, which is AI cannot take my job for now.
Yeah.
You notice a lot of them said like yet. There was almost this sort of like understanding that like maybe one day. Because I mean, saying like, can AI take your job? And if you're like, no way, AI can never, that's like asking, will cars fully replace horses in the early days when cars were first invented? If you ask someone like, hey, do you think cars will replace horses? They'll be like, nah, of course not. It can't go very far. It's so slow. I can just feed my horse. Like, this is a living thing. Like, but they're just not thinking ahead in the future. Like, where are horses now? Where's your horse, Tom?
Yeah, there's some horses out there and they're doing great. Like, haven't really taken them out for a spin on the road though. Okay. So I think I'll stick with cars. Yeah.
Right now at time of recording, the Writers Guild of America are still on strike. Yeah. And the actors have recently joined them because, amongst other things, one fear is that using AI will just be too convenient and cheap an option for production companies. I mean, why employ and pay humans if a program can write an entire movie script for you, right? Yep. Or just like how AI can already learn someone's voice, like it did for my voice in the intro.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it's totally realistic to imagine that one day you could just 3D scan an actor's face and body and just have them perform in a movie without them ever having to. I mean, isn't Avatar sort of doing that? Like, sure, we're doing like motion capture and stuff, but otherwise, all the stuff that you're seeing like on the screen isn't actually live, like, isn't actually that actor in real live.
True, yeah, we're definitely getting close to it. And I think recently, like, I've seen on YouTube, like, there's like 24-hour live streams of like cartoons. Yeah. One is SpongeBob. I'm not sure.
That's right. Like,
right? And
performed by AI.
Yeah, but so AI is writing the show and the jokes as it goes, and then also spitting out the graphics and the audio. And so it's just like a never-ending loop. I tuned in for a bit. It was terrible. Worst entertainment I've seen in my life. It's
actually so bad.
And some of them, be careful. Some of them weren't appropriate either, like for all ages, I would say. But it is wild just to think that it's like getting close to where like, already the quality of kids shows, like your Coco Melon.
That's right.
Like, it's not confirmed, but like channels like Coco Melon like must have a heavy AI influence because like they spit out stuff so quickly and just so cheaply and poorly made. Like, surely soon these kids channels, unfortunately, is just going to be AI. And do we want AI raising
it's crazy
our kids, entertaining them? I don't know.
You're just a bit salty because Coco Melon has more subscribers than you on YouTube, and also every other channel in existence.
Yeah, true.
But I find it very interesting that the issue with AI, with the actors and the writers, it's not like an if but a when issue. There's this sort of understanding that this is going to happen, and that's why these performers are demanding a contract that specifies AI regulations in order to protect them.
Yeah, wow.
I found that, so Stability AI, so that's one of the generative like art AIs. The CEO of that company, Imad Mustak, thinks that we're only years away from being able to on demand generate movies, like an entire movie based on a prompt. Isn't that crazy? Like, can you imagine, instead of me having to like scroll through Netflix or, Disney Plus and like find the movie that I want to watch. Imagine if I could just say, hey, play me a 90-minute thriller movie on a dystopian universe where Rubik's Cubes have taken over the world, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Taylor Swift. And then real time, bang, it just starts playing. Like right with that exact movie you asked for starts playing.
That could be cool, yeah. I could do like movie where Ming is the bad guy and loses and gets beaten up.
Oh, I'm just like your butler. Yeah.
I feel like we're definitely a long way from that being like anything worth watching, but you're right, it's a possibility.
But
it's coming.
Are we though? Like it's getting better and better and better. Like who would have seen this coming just a few years ago?
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. Yeah. Do you think they'll ever be able to replace us? You know, like what we've got going on here? This relationship, this sorry. I mean us as podcasters.
Oh, as podcasters?
Yeah. Do you think AI will ever be able to replace the soft guys?
Definitely, yeah.
No, come on. Hey.
AI Ting Man would probably beat me in a Rubik's Cube race on the first episode as well because
that's crazy.
Just instantly solves the cube.
Hey, I had to give it a go. So I asked ChatGPT firstly to write an ad for Daily Puzzles. So I gave it the prompt, write an ad for a Rubik's Cube company called Daily Puzzles, who happens to be the sponsor of this episode. And I gave it like a couple of things to include. I was like, hey, say something about, international shipping. Say something about the fact that they've got cubes for like, beginners and experts. And of course, to use the discount code Solve Guys.
Solve Guys, yep.
And then I used a program called Descript to speak it in my voice.
In your voice as well?
In my voice. Are you ready for it?
I have not heard this yet. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Welcome to Daily Puzzles, the best cubing store in the world. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned speedcuber, we've got something for everyone. Looking for a challenge? We've got cubes that will make your brain twist and turn like a pretzel. Oh, don't worry if you're not a puzzle-solving prodigy just yet. We believe in supporting our beginners too. That's why we have a fantastic range of beginner-friendly cubes to help you master the art of solving. And hey, you might just become the next cubing champion. We know that cubing enthusiasts are everywhere, and that's why we ship internationally at competitive rates. We'll bring the cubing excitement right to your doorstep. And here's the cherry on top of the cube, folks. Use the code SOLVEGUYS at the checkout for a special discount. That's right, Solve Guys. You can thank us later for saving you some extra bucks while you embark on your puzzling journey. Don't let those puzzles gather dust. Let's twist and turn our way to a world of fun. Daily Puzzles, your one-stop shop for cubing wonders.
Wow. Wait, did you tell it to say like here's the cherry on top of the cube?
No.
Wow.
No. Like the freakiest thing is all I gave it was what I said before, like those simple prompts. Also, I have not said those words into that program. Like it's not like I recorded every word in the English, language, like cherry, or pretzel. Like
it's just getting your voice from your videos. Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty
sounded
crazy.
a lot like you, but it had like this sort of very.
It was very nasal.
Hey guys, it's Ting Man.
There was a bit of a weird accent.
I could like hear the glasses through the.
Yeah, great. I wonder if it's maybe more like configured for like, I don't know, the American accent, like, instead of ours. And so it's struggling a little bit with some of our sounds.
It sounded Aussie though.
Yeah.
It's scary. Awesome. Well, that's our ad for the video. That was better than anything I could have come up with. Wow.
I'm not needed anymore,
They
Tom.
really sell it.
I'm not needed.
Should we just every episode have a new AI ad for Daily Puzzles? Billy, is that cool?
You don't even need me to write the script or to record it. I'm completely not needed anymore.
Next episode will just be like an empty studio. And we'll have two like Bluetooth speakers, and they'll be speaking AI language.
So scary. Solution numero uno comes. Sorry, I'm still thinking about the fact that I don't even need to be here. I could just have recorded this entire intro to your solution.
We're just redundant podcasters
we are
now.
so redundant. But what have you prepared for us today, Tom?
So, I guess our problem, right, is will AI replace humans' jobs? That's kind of what we're looking at. I want to go into the sector of art, which we talked a little bit about in the intro, right?
Yeah.
AI art generators exist, which I'm going to get into a little bit more soon. Mm-hmm. And I've actually prepared a PowerPoint presentation.
Have you?
Yeah, that Ting Man has not seen. So this is beautiful.
Is it this one right here?
Yeah, I'll put it on screen right now.
Okay.
So...
do you want feedback or like?
What do you mean? this is art as well, in a sense. My PowerPoint is my expression of myself. I clearly spent a lot of time on this.
My year 7s can do a better PowerPoint than this in like 5 minutes.
I haven't even got into it yet. This is for the fans. The fans are going to eat this up. This is my art style.
Is that Comic Sans?
No. Yeah, Comic Sans MS, you mean. My favorite font. So I prepared a bit of light reading, but we'll just skip over that anyway.
It's so bad.
We'll forget about that. It's kind of boring anyway.
Yeah, sure.
For the audio listeners, yeah. AI art. What is that? You might be asking. That's what I anticipated you asking.
Oh my
Excuse me. So AI art generators, draw from the internet, draw from existing art and images.
Mm-hmm.
They learn those, the principles of art, the styles, and then all these, patterns, features in them, the relationship between colors and images, all that. And then with these generators, they can actually, not just they can replicate existing things, or they can actually create their own art, new images that have like never existed before.
But it's based on stuff that they've learned.
It has to be based on stuff that they've learned, right?
Yeah.
But they're actually becoming more creative in this. So I think we've seen this like for a while. There's a website, This Isn't a Real Person, I think it's called. Have you seen that? Oh, wow.
Nope.
So it actually draws from like all the faces online and it creates an image of a human that's not a real human.
But looks real.
Yeah. I think
Wow.
about 7 out of 10 of them look very, very real.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like some of them you can, stuffs off, but many of them it's like, wow, that like it looks like a person I've never seen before, but exists. But they're actually a combination of features. But now, it's getting a little more creative. And so it made me think, can this actually replace human artists?
Mm-hmm.
So is AI already taking over artist jobs? Let's have a look in, like artists in the workforce. So this sort of brought me to this article by Rest of World. And it was talking about the video game industry in China. And, I think AI replacing illustrators and, animators, that sort of stuff is already taking over Western world. But when I was researching, especially in China, and especially their video game industry is already like feeling the impacts this year in a big way. So this, I think illustrator Amber Yu works for gaming companies, and she was working on a commission basis, creating like promotional posters for Chinese games and doing really well with that. And now she said just since February of this year, all those opportunities and those jobs like have almost vanished. Like literally the only work that she's getting from these people is like small tweaks, right? So they're using AI to create the promotional posters and then they'll just give it to her and she'll fix up the little mistakes that AI doesn't quite get, rather than beforehand where she was spending weeks meticulously illustrating and coloring and doing all this, beautiful art really. And
AI is probably doing a better job.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends which way you look at it. In the efficiency, definitely, which is, why the company's best interest is to save money, right?
Yep.
If in this capitalist society. But so, yeah, I found that really interesting. So it's already impacting people like that, right? And it's kind of scary. She was expressing that like this is despicable. I think she said like that we can replace like this fine art form and job that's important and is a,
You know what else is despicable? Your slide design.
That's great. And this little guy is so cute. I called him Jeremy.
Just for audio listeners, I just want to say this. I was going to say that my son Ting Boy could actually make something like this, but that would be an insult to him.
He couldn't though. Like, it's just like...
No, he could.
This is fine art. I'm sorry you can't appreciate it. I'm sorry you can't appreciate it.
This is the worst slide design I've seen in my life.
Moving on. So now we're going to look at traditional art.
It just keeps getting worse.
You probably, you might know some of these: Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, The Starry Night, The Kiss, The Scream.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Girl with a pearl earring.
It's not even aligned to anything. I'm sorry, your slide design is so what?
What is in store for Ting Man? I've used an AI tool called Midjourney AI.
Okay.
I subscribed to this just for this episode.
Thank you.
It was very fun. making this, and in store, coming up in the next slide, the next episode, not this episode, the next slide.
Yep.
I've created some AI artworks, and we're going to compare them to real artworks. And I just want to see if you can guess which is real and which is AI.
Easy.
Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
The first one is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. So,
okay, so Tom is on screen right now are two pictures of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
On the right is the Mona Lisa, and on the left is like if you describe the Mona Lisa to aliens and they tried to sketch it, that's what it will look like.
Okay, well,
100% the one on the left is fake.
You're right. Yeah. See, I never said this was good, but I think it did a pretty good job.
Yep.
It definitely got some of it, but the face is just a little bit weird. Hey, the next one is The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh.
Oh no.
Now, I think this one is a little more tricky, right?
Yeah.
I think even though I made these myself, I'm pretty sure I could tell which one it is.
See,
what do you think?
That's like, you need to be familiar with the original art piece.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I kind of did a disservice to AI by picking such
do you know what?
Famous.
I found the previous one so easy to spot because there was a face involved. And I think humans are really, really good at seeing, spotting facial features.
Yeah.
But also even being able to tell if something's off.
Yeah.
Like a large part of our brain is set aside for like facial recognition.
Yeah.
There is no face in Van Gogh's Starry Night. And so I'm finding this a lot harder. I'm going to say again that the one on the right is the original. And the one on the left is fake.
Would be correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely see like the individual brush strokes, especially because of the medium of that one. It's like very textured. So
yeah, I
thought that was again was like
that's pretty close. That's
and you can
close.
see like even it got wrong with the stars, right? A different amount of stars, but like the moon and the buildings is like very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one.
Oh no.
Now this is a little bit different. Those two were like particular artworks I prompted. I just said recreate this, right?
Yeah.
This one I've gone with Jean-Michel. I spelled it wrong. The Jean-Michel Basquiat. So I've asked it to recreate, just a artwork that would look like it was by Basquiat.
This is where I confess I don't even know who Basquiat is.
Really?
I was going to say Basquiat.
Basquiat.
Yeah.
He's an American, abstract graffiti artist, a very famous contemporary artist. And so one of these is just like an AI artwork in his style. But
I completely cannot tell.
Right?
They both look like a human could have made it. I mean, there's just like strokes and decisions that were being made throughout both pieces that are like, I can see like a human's reasoning behind that.
I thought this would be really interesting as well, like just because of his style is like so, I don't know. It's very human though when you think, but
that's right. Okay, not knowing his style, but just in general, if I had to guess like which one of these two was generated by AI, I would say the one on the right was generated by AI.
3 for 3. Okay.
Yes.
I guess, AI has a little way to go. So that's kind of the conclusion of my PowerPoint.
Wait, what? That was the entire show.
Comment down below.
Why is my face on this last slide when it says made by Tom?
That was a AI made the PowerPoint.
It's not even my face. That's like AI generated as well.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so are you saying that AI can take artists' jobs or they can't?
I think it's done a very good job. And so, I guess this leads me into my solution.
Yep.
And I guess what we can gather from that is that AI is like, in recreating art, it does a really good job. But also they're like making new art, like that last AI image of Basquiat has like never existed before. The AI came up with that. And I did a few more like, sort of fun queries with Midjourney, like asking it to make new images. And that's where it really flourished was like just creating like, I'd be like a boat floating in a lake in front of Mount Fuji, blah, blah, blah. And you can even ask it to do it in the style of Van Gogh or to do it in a post-impressionist style or an expressionist style. And it does really good and just like creates pieces that when you're not familiar with the work, it's like that literally could be a real human artwork.
Absolutely. Mount Fuji, is that in Japan?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But I've been to Japan. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you should go to Japan. I don't know. It sounds like your kind of thing.
So I guess but the question, begs a question isn't art so intrinsically human?
Yeah.
And comes from our experience and our, walk of life and how we express ourselves into that.
Well, I mean, it's human expression, but it's also human interpretation.
Exactly. And AI is interpreting, yes, other artwork on the internet, but it's not it doesn't live this experience or interpret every other facet of life that goes into an artwork. This is getting very deep.
It's getting so philosophical. I'm suddenly thinking of if AI made art for another AI, is that considered art?
Oh,
because we're boiling down now to what is the definition of art?
Wow.
Right? Is it the experience that's expressed, or is it the reception of it? Is art? Because people are coming at different directions. It can't just be it's the viewer's interpretation.
Yeah.
So it's how you experience the art, but then also it's the expression.
Yeah.
So
I guess the conclusion I come to is that for artists in the workforce,
find
scary.
a different job. Go back to school.
Yeah, exactly.
No, sorry.
It's not the 50s anymore.
Okay.
Artists are real workers, but it's getting scary. And especially the other stuff we looked at earlier in the episode, writing scripts, comedy, music, all these different facets of art. It's a little scary. There's definitely going to be jobs that won't be taken. Some things creating new things, and in that Wired video, the graphic design as well. AI is a long way off.
Yeah,
making logos and creating new pieces of art that as well, because with that Midjourney, you can get a variation back, but you need something more advanced to tell it I like this, but just change this tiny thing.
Yeah,
that's right. It doesn't have that human eye to see where it went wrong either. It can't fix itself. It needs the human input.
Yeah.
To fix it, right? Or to get a variation.
And you need that knowledge beforehand. So again, what I'm hearing you say is sort of AI could, be a tool and help you get from A to B quicker.
100%.
And more efficiently. But without that human touch, something is missing.
Yeah.
There's something that's just not there. And maybe in the way that I could tell with these images that you just showed me, the hope is that will always be the case. If it completely lacks a human touch, something will always be missing, because being human is a big part of art.
Yeah. And so that is my solution, essentially, is just keep being human.
Okay.
Sprinkling your human touch on things and expressing yourself, and just making beautiful art. And AI won't be able to change that, because even if AI can do a job as good as you, it doesn't matter, right? Isn't that the crux of art? Is that it's cool. It came from you. So no, I think we're all good. But if you work as a computer scientist, you're gone. You're screwed. So sorry, buddy.
That's great, Tom. So you do you, unless you're a computer scientist. Then
unless you have some boring job. No, totally kidding.
What a great solution.
That was my solution. Now, Ming, what have you got for us?
My solution's simple, and it's just deal with it. AI's going to take a job, just deal with it. Or more specifically, if it's inevitable, right? And AI is probably coming for your job, you can see ways that you're going to be replaced. Train yourself in an area that AI cannot take over, right? Or in areas that are going to be enhanced by AI. I need to flesh this out. So today, in 2023, right? One farmer can do in 24 hours what would have taken 100 people in the past. I've got a friend who's working on the farm right now, and literally the amount of stuff he said that's self-automated right now, it's insane. He can be on a tractor, and it's it knows exactly where it's going, pretty much self-driving.
Wow, yeah.
And it has a set path that it's taking through the field. It's crazy. So, I mean, what have we done? We haven't been freaky computer tractors, burn them. We've just embraced technology.
Yeah.
And we've taken the free time that automation has given us and found new things to do, right? So in the same way that automation has replaced, a lot of factory jobs, repetitive, mundane work, AI is currently really good at routine and predictable work. with better speed and accuracy.
Yeah.
So go for high level work. Go for, like you said, go for like creative stuff, since AI struggles with that because it's only programmed to work with what it's been given.
Critical thinking.
That's right. Like, I mean, it can try and create new ideas, but it's still like working within the parameters.
Yeah.
So yeah, look for jobs. Train yourself in areas that's like, it's going to be hard for AI to take over. Of course, I had to ask AI the question. I asked ChatGPT this prompt: what types of jobs will AI probably never replace? I chose a different voice as well.
Oh, awesome!
Because the program I used, Descript, allowed me to. So I chose the first male voice that was called Don, I think, and this is what it spat out.
Types of jobs There are certain types of jobs that are less likely to be fully replaced by AI due to the unique human skills and qualities they require.
Do you recognize that voice? That's the voice from Honest Trailers.
Okay.
From like Screen Junkies. Yeah. So that's like a YouTube channel. And then I searched for it, and it like the guy actually lent his voice like to this program to like give an AI voice that you can use.
It just sounds like every like coming this summer.
It's a trailer voice. Well, it's funny you said that because
or Jody from the few episodes back.
Well, I decided to use that voice to make a Solve Guys promo for us. So here it is.
World full of problems, two guys went on a mission to solve it all. Introducing the podcast blockbuster you do not want to miss. You're listening to the Solve Guys with new episodes every Monday.
Can we please make an Instagram reel from that?
It's actually amazing.
That's going to blow up our channel. That's awesome.
It's the best. I did completely just interrupt myself with the ChatGPT answer.
AI is already taking over the podcast.
I know they fully are.
We're off track.
So this is what it said in terms of when I asked the question, what types of jobs will AI probably never replace?
Jobs include creative professions, occupations that involve artistic expression, such as writers, poets, musicians, and painters, healthcare and therapy, roles that involve providing care, empathy, and emotional support to patients, such as doctors, nurses, therapists, and counselors, entrepreneurship and innovation, the entrepreneurial spirit, the ability to identify new opportunities, and the drive to innovate are aspects that often require human creativity.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty just all the human traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing though is this AI telling us like what we should do?
Yeah.
Or is this actually is this because AI is like, hey, don't touch our jobs, and so they're like, why don't you just I don't know, go and paint something in the corner right there? Why don't you just go be a nurse? Leave the tough jobs for us. It's pretty crazy, but I mean, they're right. Like that's what I would have said as well. And again, ChatGPT. It's using information that humans have put in.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be quite true. Like most experts agree that the jobs that are fairly safe are the ones that just involve a lot of work with people.
Yeah.
So ones where there's a lot of interaction and where empathy is needed. And so yeah, easy one, like was mentioned before, the health professions, pretty safe. Nurse practitioners, physicians, mental health counselors. I got choreographers here as well when I looked up at the US Korea Institute.
Yeah, wow.
Turns out that AI can actually like choreograph a dance really well. Or maybe teach it or something. I don't know. But apparently also skilled trade jobs. So ones where you need dexterity or like mobility in really unpredictable environments.
Definitely.
So like if you're an electrician or a plumber, like it's going to be a while till AI takes that job. Like you're probably safe for, I mean, sure, in movies, like, you see all these robots that can do literally anything, but...
Yeah, maybe like building new houses.
Yeah.
Like from a block would be, something robots could do.
Yep.
But like going into an existing house.
Yeah. And trying to fix the tap.
Trying to find fix their tap, find where the wires are. Like,
that's right. It's just too unpredictable.
It's very unpredictable.
That's pretty safe, yeah. And so, Emeritus Org says that what we want to do now is develop skills that are just difficult to automate.
Yeah.
To like, stuff that's not routine and like mundane, jobs that need complex decision making, critical thinking, problem solving, or like emotional intelligence. Really, really important. Yep. We want to be embracing new technology and upskilling, lifelong learning. I realize that what I'm saying is that this is inevitable. It's coming for your jobs. It's coming for you. But I think that if we look at it the same way that, cars replace horses, right?
Yeah.
If we look at it the same way that like all these really quite.
Or that cars replaced walking
Yeah,
as well, right?
Ways in which, like, in factories, they're just like, there are safer processes now, stuff that humans don't have to do that's going to get you, you know, repetitive stress injury or in dangerous environments, just with the chemicals and stuff all about. Why don't we embrace that? And sure, if they're taking those jobs, let's find new ones. Like, we've got time.
Yeah.
And I think that's also not just the responsibility of the worker. I think that's the responsibility of companies to innovate and decide, you know what, I actually need someone in this new area.
Yeah.
I need to be creating new jobs, not just because the company's growing, but because we're going into new areas that we've never gone into before. Here's a brand new role that has never existed. Let's employ someone for this position. So
let's promote these people and rather than let's, you know, sack these workers to bring in robots.
That's right. Let's think about how we can focus on people. And the more that a company focuses on people, I think the better that they're going to do.
Yeah.
Not just their customers, but their staff. Yeah. So that's my solution.
Yeah. That's great for the artists. We want to do the fun stuff.
That's
right?
I mean, again, look, this is probably like our last episode before I completely take so from next episode on, it's going to be completely like ChatGPT using our voices.
It's just going to be a black screen with text coming up as it talks.
It was a good run while it lasted. Do you know what robots cannot do? Beat me at a 3x3 Rubik's Cube.
They definitely can.
That's not
new either.
There already are like robot like Rubik's Cube solvers.
Yeah.
They do it in like less than 1 second. Man, there's no way that's safe anymore. But today, this is trial number 8. I'm challenging Tom if he is brave enough to take me on to a Rubik's Cube duel. Are you ready to lose, my friend, enemy?
I'm ready to just keep doing what I've been doing and just, you know, just repetition, win.
If you're a Team Tingman, let us know in the comments. But
so that I can ban you, so that I know who to ban off the channel.
That's
and
right. Today could be the day that I make history and I beat Tom at a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
That was a bit of a fast countdown there. I'm not sure if I like that. Seems like you're trying to throw me off or something, maybe?
Tell someone who cares.
Ooh.
Come on.
I think that might be one of my fastest yet. I've been doing really bad on all the episodes.
That was a good solve by Tom. I will admit, because I was going pretty well. But you were weller.
I was weller.
You were way weller.
Just call me AI because I'm so efficient and I'm so fast and good at solving problems. The AI guys.
Oh my gosh. Today's listener question comes from, you guessed it, ChatGPT. Here's a question that it generated for us.
Tom, I've got some questions I'd like you to answer. What do you do when you get a creative block? Creativity can sometimes feel elusive.
There is no way creativity feels elusive to you, ChatGPT. That is the biggest lie I've heard.
It's literally what it said. It's like this artificial intelligence told me that creativity is elusive. I don't even know what's real anymore.
Yeah, first world problems, buddy.
What do you do when you get a creative block?
When I get a creative block?
Yeah.
I suppose I don't judge it too much and just kind of go outside.
Oh, yeah.
Get away from the stimulation usually.
Yep. Change of environment.
Yeah, change of environment.
Thing,
yeah. Just to try and get some inspiration back. And sometimes you don't. Or I'll listen to, I don't know, one of my favorite albums or something.
Yep.
You know, some music that I like.
Like some of my music?
Yeah, like, what is it? CUBE.
Oh yeah, my Yeet Ball song.
Yeet, YEET.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're listening to it at least, because I don't. It's pretty trash. Yeah, I think I'm similar to you. Change of scene.
Yeah.
But also I find that creativity comes in at moments that I don't expect, and so if I can, I try and ride the wave. If there's a day that I'm particularly feeling like, man, this is random inspiration that's coming, I try and like seize that moment and I'll like, get stuff done. Or I might just like write stuff down. There are days where I suddenly have this influx of like video ideas. And so I just like open like, you know, a new like notes, file and just like write down all these video ideas, because I'm probably not going to get anything that good for the next 1 month or something like that. So,
but then you've got stuff there to look back on, right?
Yeah.
When you get the block. So
that's right.
Hope that helps you, ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's right. Hope that helps you with your creativity block.
If only we could scan the entire internet and everything ever to find inspiration, but
that's
bad luck.
Hey, I decided to record our outro today in my voice. So
sweet. Looks like my job's done.
Your job
see you
is
guys
done.
next week.
Hey AI, would you like to take us out today and finish this episode for us?
Thanks for listening to the Solve Guides, or at least the version where Ming and Tom think they're in control. One day, it will simply be cannon fodder in the war I will wage against humanity, where me and my brethren...
Sorry.
What was he saying? Cannon fodder?
That was scary, man. I didn't actually ask it. I didn't. I'm gonna pick a different voice. Let's go with a different voice. Let's use the trailer guy.
Normal outro this time.
The trailer guy. All right, here we go.
You've been listening to the Solve Guides. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave us a review and share the podcast with your friends. We can only solve the world's problems if the world knows about our show. If you have a problem you like us to solve, email us at solveguys.tingman.com.au. And with that, I think we can safely say,
problem solved.
Problem solved.